In this video, I will teach you how to perform deductive thematic analysis with MAXQDA and go from raw transcripts such as this to having clear codes under your preconceived themes like this. My name is Bernard Mugo. I like to refer to myself simply as an academic. In the past 3 years, I've helped more than 200 PhD students analyze qualitative data and finally complete their theses or dissertations. In the course of helping such a large number of students, I've gained invaluable experience of the best practices that you can use to perform qualitative analysis of your interviews and be able to retrieve quality findings. Let's look at the differences between inductive and deductive thematic analysis. Under thematic analysis, we have two main approaches. The two main approaches are inductive and deductive. So we have inductive thematic analysis and we have deductive thematic analysis. What are the differences between inductive and deductive thematic analysis? Inductive thematic analysis, we come to the data with an open mind, okay? So we let the data determine the themes. All the themes come from what we get from the data through first doing something we call open coding. We get codes without any preconceived ideas. In contrast, we have deductive analysis. In deductive thematic analysis, we come to the data with preconceived themes. The themes are already predetermined. Because the themes are predetermined, we are coming to the data to get codes and to fit them in our already preconceived or predetermined themes. So what's an example of an inductive approach to thematic analysis? We have very many, but I'll give you two. One is RTA, reflexive thematic analysis. This one is a framework by Brown and Clark. Reflexive thematic analysis has 6 steps, also known as the Brown and Clark 6-step framework for thematic analysis. Another inductive approach to thematic analysis is Collise's approach. Those are two approaches of doing inductive thematic analysis. What about deductive thematic analysis? We have different approaches. One of the main approaches is the codebook approach. And we also have the template approach. These are just two names for the same thing. That means we come up with a code book with the themes, or a template with the themes and their descriptions before we start doing the coding. So we start with a template or a code book with preconceived or predetermined themes. Then we find data and code that data and match it to the preconceived or predetermined themes. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be doing deductive thematic analysis, and I'm going to be following the codebook approach, and I'm going to be using MAXQDA. This is just a software for organizing our data. Let me interrupt this video for a minute and pose this question to you. Are you overwhelmed by qualitative data analysis? I've got you covered with 2 specialized services tailored just for you. But before I tell you of my services, let me first begin by informing you that I have an average 5-star rating from the previous clients that I've worked with, both in the done for you and in the consulting service. Now, here are the 2 services that I provide to help you in analyzing your qualitative data. The first service is the done for you qualitative data analysis service. In this service, I handle the heavy lifting so you can focus on the bigger picture. My service includes meticulous manual coding, where I code every word for meaningful insights, theme development, where I identify patterns that matter the most, data visualization, where I provide stunning visuals to tell your data story, findings report, where I provide a ready-to-use findings report for the 4th chapter of your thesis or dissertation, and a walkthrough video recording, which is a step-by-step explanation of how I analyze your data using MAXQDA. The second service I provide is one-on-one MAXQDA consulting. In this service, we hop on a video call via Microsoft Teams or Zoom, and in just a few hours, I'll help you become a MAXQDA Pro. Whether you are a beginner or looking to refine your qualitative data analysis skills, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. So don't wait, contact me today. My details are in the description and in the pinned comment. Now, let's conduct deductive thematic analysis. Deductive thematic analysis, remember, involves coming to the data with predetermined themes or preconceived themes that we want to match with the data. For this tutorial, the data that I'm going to analyze is from an example study titled Challenges in Managing HIV and Non-Communicable Diseases and Health Workers' Perception Regarding Integrated Management of Non-Communicable Diseases During Routine HIV Care in South Central Uganda, a qualitative study. So this is a qualitative study of health workers who attend to HIV patients. So these are the themes that were predetermined, or these are the themes that we want to find in the data from the interviews or from the transcripts. Theme 1, common non-communicable diseases among patients with HIV. So the description for this theme is the prevalent non-communicable diseases among HIV patients. The second theme is health systems challenges in managing HIV and non-communicable diseases. The explanation for this theme is the challenges health workers encounter managing HIV together with non-communicable diseases. We have the third theme, health workers' perception of integrated management of non-communicable diseases in HIV care. So the description for this theme is the views of health workers concerning the integration of non-communicable diseases in HIV routine checkups. So for this study, I have one transcript which I'm going to analyze using MAXQDA. So let's open MAXQDA and perform deductive thematic analysis. Now, this is MAXQDA. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to create a new project and call this deductive thematic analysis. I save my MAXQDA project. When you open MAXQDA, you'll see MAXQDA has different menus or tools. We have the top tool or the top menu, home, import codes, and so on and so forth. We have the secondary menu here, text, PDFs, tables, transcripts, and so on. And we have a menu on the left with documents and codes. So in the documents is where we are going to import our transcript. Clicking on the document section, let's go to transcripts in the second menu. Go to transcripts without timestamps, and let's import this raw transcript. Click open. So that's the transcript that has been imported. I want to close this so that you can see the transcript well. Now that's the transcript that we are going to analyze through deductive thematic analysis. Again, I remind you that in deductive thematic analysis, we come to the data with preconceived or predetermined themes. So I want to go and copy my themes and import them into MAXQDA. I copy the first theme, I go to the code section, click on the plus sign, paste my theme here. I go back and copy this description, okay? The description for what does this predetermined theme mean. I want to paste, click OK. So that's the description for that theme. If you double click on the memo, you can see the description here. So that's the first predetermined theme. Let's have the second predetermined theme that we want to find in the data. Again, I come here, click on the plus sign, copy this description, paste. That's the second theme. I want the third theme here. Paste the description in the memo area. Now, these are the predetermined themes that we want to find in the interview data because we are doing deductive thematic analysis. I want to right click here and go to sort A to Z to organize my themes from theme 1, 2, 3 in the right order. So those are my themes, predetermined themes. So let's go and find codes to match to the predetermined themes and therefore conduct thematic analysis. Well, let's read the title. Challenges in managing HIV and non-communicable diseases and healthcare workers' perception regarding integrated management of non-communicable diseases during routine HIV care in South Central Uganda, a qualitative study. So this is a focus group. They are calling it key informant interviews, but this is a focus group because they are interviewing many people at once. So let's read the questions. Let's start with the interviewer. "Hello, thank you very much for sacrificing time to be in this discussion." Then the interviewer asks the participants, "Kindly share the common non-communicable diseases, NCDs, that you manage at the hospital." So let's first read the whole paragraph, then come back and start coding. So this is key informant 9. In our healthcare setting, we routinely encounter a diverse array of chronic conditions with a particular prevalence of cardiovascular conditions, notably hypertension. The incidence of high blood pressure is notably frequent, constituting a significant portion of the patient population seeking medical attention at our hospital. While we do receive individuals with other chronic conditions such as heart diseases, diabetes, cancer, and kidney diseases, it is the prevalence of hypertension that stands out prominently in our patient demographic. The consistent influx of patients with hypertension underscores the significance of addressing and managing this particular condition within our healthcare facility. This prevalence also highlights the importance of implementing effective preventative measures and tailored treatment strategies to address the unique healthcare needs associated with hypertension in our community. In our healthcare setting, we routinely encounter a diverse array. I think that's a repetition. So let's stop there. Let's read the question again and let's read our theme. Common non-communicable diseases among HIV patients. We see so many codes. So this person says they see an array of chronic conditions with a particular prevalence of cardiovascular conditions, notably hypertension. So some non-communicable diseases is hypertension. The incidence of high blood pressure is notably frequent, constituting a significant proportion of patient population seeking medical attention at our hospital. So I want to code all this from here, that whole sentence. Let's click on the second button, which is code with a new code, okay? We want to call this hypertension. Hypertension, which is one of the most common non-communicable diseases that this healthcare provider witnesses or sees among HIV patients. Drag and drop that code under theme 1. So, one of the common non-communicable diseases among HIV patients is hypertension. If you double click on the code, click on the transcript, you can see the citation or the participant quote that we just coded. Let's have more codes. While we do receive individuals with other chronic conditions such as heart diseases, I want to copy that whole sentence from while and again create this and call this heart disease. Don't forget, drag and drop this code under the theme that it belongs to. We are doing deductive thematic analysis. So we have to find codes to connect to our preconceived or predetermined themes. Again, we have diabetes here. For diabetes, when we have a word that's also a code, we can select code in vivo. You see, when you code in vivo, the code is also the quote. When I click on that code, I double click on it, you can see diabetes. Again, I drag and drop that code under theme 1. Cancer, I also want to code in vivo. So code in vivo. Kidney diseases, I also want to code in vivo. Kidney diseases. You can see, now we are matching, and if you click here, we can see we have 5 codes already. Now we are going to the data and getting codes and connecting them to our predetermined themes. This is how we do deductive thematic analysis. Let's keep reading. Metabolic and cardiovascular diseases, especially diabetes. So they talk about diabetes again. So I want to drag and drop that quote inside the diabetes code. Hypertension were reported to be common among persons living with HIV. So hypertension. Drag and drop that hypertension. Okay? Let's look at another participant. Remember, this is like a focus group. So this is one participant, key informant 9. Let's look at key informant 2. They say high blood pressure is common among people living with HIV. So high blood pressure. Remember, high blood pressure is the same as hypertension. So I highlight that. I drag and drop that inside hypertension code. If you already have a code, to add more content, you just highlight the sentence and drag and drop it inside the code where you want it to be. So when you take blood pressure, for instance, say for 10 people, 2 or 3 will have high blood pressure. High blood pressure needs attention as more people report pressure compared to other NCDs, non-communicable diseases. Okay? Because I see like the whole statement is important, I drag and drop that inside the hypertension code. If you double click on the hypertension code and you come and click on these transcripts, you will start seeing the different codes that we have coded. Okay? Let's look at another key informant 19. In my capacity as a trained and certified counselor, I regularly engage with clients facing high blood pressure related issues. These individuals not only encounter substantial challenges, but also necessitate psychological support in conjunction with adherence messages. A lot of clients express concerns that they are experiencing blood pressure-like symptoms. When their blood pressure are measured, most are told that they are hypertensive. So, drag and drop that into hypertension. That's a common non-communicable disease among people living with HIV. Then, in contrast to cardiovascular diseases, our clients exhibit a higher prevalence of mental health conditions, with depression emerging as a prominent concern among non-communicable diseases. Another non-communicable disease that's common among individuals with HIV and AIDS is mental health issues, and most importantly, depression. So I code that depression. Click OK. So drag and drop depression under theme 1. Remember, we are doing deductive thematic analysis where we are finding codes to fit in our already predetermined themes. So that's depression. With our patient population, depression stands out, and that's good. Let's look at key informant 20. I'm skipping areas that are not important. So depression is like a sister to HIV at the hospital. It's very common. Many will become worried to the extent of failing to perform normal duties, and on investigation, a diagnosis comes positive for depression. So depression is a very common non-communicable disease among people living with HIV. I drag and drop that statement under the depression code. Let's keep coding. Key informant 1, depression is very common here. In every other 3 clients will experience depressive symptoms at least one every year. So depression. Generally, mental health concerns are highly prevalent. Clients have a lot of worries. We have clients who have attempted suicide. So another mental health concern is, I code this because this is not depression. This is, let me voice type, suicidal ideation. So suicidal ideation is a very common mental health issue or non-communicable disease among individuals living with HIV. Then mental health concerns are very common. Depression is a very serious issue. That is key informant 16. Let's drag and drop. Remember, as we add more quotes, you can see the numbers are changing here. For instance, you see this is number 4. That means we have added 4 quotes from different key informants. Okay? Let's look at key informant 4, hypertension and depression. Just for hypertension, I drag and drop that, and depression emerge as predominant concerns among non-communicable diseases within our community. Okay? So depression, let's drag and drop this here. Notably, hyperglycemia is identified at a prevalence of 8%, representing a less common occurrence just when juxtaposed with higher prevalence rates of hypertension and depression. So they also talk about hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia relates to diabetes. So let's drag and drop that in diabetes. What am I doing? First, to conduct deductive thematic analysis, I went and came up with predetermined or preconceived themes. Then I imported the themes into MAXQDA and arranged them well. After importing them, I started reading my transcript and generating open codes to fit in my predetermined themes. To conduct deductive thematic analysis, these are the steps that we follow. I also want to code for theme 2. Let's look at that question. Health system challenges and managing HIV and NCDs. So the interviewer asked the participants, kindly share the challenges managing HIV and NCDs. What are the challenges? The health system challenges of doing this. We experience multifaceted challenges during the management of both HIV and NCDs. Several issues including intricate task of handling adverse events. Okay, so one challenge is, I want to code this as difficulties in handling adverse events among patients. So this code, I want to drag and drop it under theme 2. Remember, these are the codes I want to connect to theme 2, okay? The health system challenges in managing HIV. Remember, these are predetermined themes. Then, the overwhelming workload. So that's a very good code. We code that in vivo, and we drag and drop that under theme 2, overwhelming workload. We can always come and edit the codes. If you don't like that the code starts with a small letter, you can edit. Right click, click on properties and edit. The communication gap between specialists and lower CADO health workers. So let's highlight this and code this as communication challenges between specialists and low rank health care workers. So again, that code I drag and drop it under theme 2. Then limited financial and human resources. I want to code limited financial resources alone. code in vivo, and I want to code limited human resources alone. So that one I say limited human resources. So these two codes, check my left, we click these two and drag and drop them under them too. And the unsupportive clinical guidelines that do not incorporate NCD management during routine HIV care and treatment make it challenging. So let's say insufficient clinical guidelines. You see? So I want to drag these two. Sorry, I forgot to drag one code, so let's drag and drop that there. This limited financial thing there. Perfect. I can even expand my themes so that I allow you to look at the themes we are generating. Remember, the themes came first because this is deductive thematic analysis. So we had predetermined themes. And now we go and find codes to fit in the themes. And that's how we conduct deductive thematic analysis. After that, we can go and revise our codes, combine our codes based on shared meaning, and then we report our findings. If you would like to know how we report our findings, I will link another longer video which I have done before. Although it relates to inductive thematic analysis, it's good to look at the video and see how do we get the data out of MAXQDA and have a findings report. Remember, if you are feeling stuck with your data analysis chapter, don't stress. I'm here to help. I offer done-for-you qualitative data analysis using MAXQDA, and my done-for-you service includes coding, theme development, and visualization. On the other hand, if you prefer to learn and do the analysis yourself, I provide one-on-one MAXQDA consulting where I'll guide you step by step to master MAXQDA in performing qualitative data analysis. Reach out to me right now, check the description for my email and link to my website. Thank you.